Hey, everybody. Welcome to episode 250 something of A Thousand Tiny Steps. Look who I'm sitting with.
Hello.
So we're in France. We're in Serres, France. So I'm looking out the window at some beautiful trees covered with leaves. It's about 3 weeks ahead here, spring-wise. Beautiful sunny day. We haven't had no rain since we've been here, which is pretty amazing.
Rare for France.
Yeah, it is very. I would agree. And it's April 30th. So tomorrow is May 1st. We're finishing up our 8 days in France.
That's crazy.
So I just thought we'd come on and chit chat about all things France. And Gracie, you're coming up, finishing 3 months. So where are you at since the last time we talked, which was like 3 weeks?
So what my mom meant by May 1st, I left America February 1st. It was the evening of February 1st. I left Boston to move to France to pursue my dreams. And now it's going to be 3 months, which I cannot believe it. Technically, it's like I'm ending my probation period at work. So everything's just getting very official now. It's not like I'm living, well, it does feel like I'm living in a dream every day, but it's becoming more and more like, oh, this is my reality. And I'm loving every second of it. And
Nice.
It's been very great to have my family here, and they can actually see my day-to-day life and just where I live, where I reside, all the people I have met here. And it's just been a really good time.
Awesome. Awesome. Gracie left. Initially, when she left, I thought, oh, we'll all go together and drop her off. And that didn't make sense once the time came around. She really needed to go and just get immersed in her life, not worry about us being here. And there wasn't much we could have done for her anyway at that time. So then we thought, okay, maybe we'll come in March. And then pretty soon it just made sense to come the last week of April because Jack has no school. So very last minute put together trip for us.
And it was my birthday.
Yes, number 25.
25. I can finally rent a car in the US.
Yes, yes. Something on the long list of ridiculousness.
I don't think I can believe it.
I know. So we arrived, and I have to tell you, the greatest part of the arrival was Jack and me. We were all leaning out the window of the hotel, all three of us actually. And Jack and Gracie caught eyes, and the screaming. It was the sweetest. Oh.
Yes, I walked because Disneyland is like it's like walking distance.
Right there.
So I walked home from work because I didn't want to wait for the bus. I didn't want to wait another second before seeing my family for the first time in forever.
For the first time in forever. Sorry.
And so I walked and I saw their open window and I saw their three little faces waving to me. And I sprinted through that lobby and went up the elevator, and the rest is history.
Yep. Watching Gracie and Jack is always a blast for me. And it's funny because he's excited to see her, and then it's like she never left. But he does follow her around ridiculously. I thought maybe we'd talk a little bit about what you find, like maybe what you find different, what you miss, what you don't miss, that kind of thing. Like, is there one big thing that's different for you?
Everything. I feel like we've covered this in the last podcast, but still it's very relevant to me. Just the use of public transport and walking every day. I'm pretty sure I get easily 10,000 steps every single day, and that's just on my normal day. Meanwhile, that's something that Americans try to get on their 75 hard every day, is that 10,000 steps a day. Oh, honey, just go live in Europe. Then you'll get more than 10,000 steps every single day. No problemo.
Yeah.
So that's been just really great. I personally, there are some moments where I really do miss having a vehicle of my own. I miss kind of like that own kind of sense of like independence and not relying on public transport, because sometimes the trains are down, sometimes the bus routes are different. You kind of have to just play the game.
Yeah.
But that at the same time, you have to deal with everything that comes with having a car. So dealing with all the troubles that it can have, flat tires, gas prices, which I'm so sorry, Americans, right now. I'm so sorry. Everything that also comes with having a car. Like, I feel like it's not like one is necessarily better than the other. It's just a matter of what you want to choose for your like inconveniences.
Right.
I will say, like, if I have to go to like multiple places in the day, I will say like lugging around a million bags can get exhausting sometimes. Right. However, it is what it is. You make it work and you just adapt.
Right. One thing I've loved is all the walking. It makes me think when I go home, like, why do I drive to school board meetings? I live like 10 houses from the building, and I get in my car and drive.
Quite literally, we probably live in the most walkable part of Concord.
We do. Absolutely. Absolutely. So I think, as I'm just reflecting on 8 days here, I'm like, okay, what can I bring back with me that I really like about European day-to-day
Try to
life?
make use of your walking.
Yeah, and I can
Think
walk
about how long it took
everywhere.
us to walk to Disneyland Paris. Think about where you could go in Concord. That's kind of around that same
Yep,
mileage or
yep,
whatever.
exactly. No, everywhere. And it just reminds me of when I was growing up, all those hundreds of years ago. We walked everywhere. I didn't, I was 9 years old. I walked to church by myself every Sunday, from my neighborhood near White's Park down to downtown Concord and back. I didn't think anything of it. It was just what you did.
No.
Another thing that I've noticed here is the food quality. So, I mean, we've had a lot of Disney, on-site food. We've had restaurant food, some grocery store food. I've had like zero digestive issues whatsoever. Like nothing. The food is delicious. It's filling without being bloaty and like, ugh. I never ever eat something and then feel sort of crappy, even if I'm eating what I consider to be crappy food, like a big old chocolate croissant or an entire egg quiche by myself. I've done that a few times.
But they're so good.
Oh my gosh, the food is fantastic. And I've never been one for chewable coffee, but coffee in Europe is chewable. It's very strong and you don't need big cups, although I drink several a day. So the coffee's been,
Yeah, Dad was saying that he's really liking the strong coffee now
yeah.
that he's been here. I would say like cappuccinos and like espresso is really big here in Europe. They take their coffee game very seriously. So maybe Dad needs to get himself an espresso machine.
An espresso machine in the kitchen.
Maybe from Walmart.
From Walmart's.
That's something I do miss.
Walmart, Target.
Yes. Yes.
The big, you have that grocery store. Okay, so let me interject for a minute. We're in this quaint town. So when the Uber driver drove us here from the airport, he commented sort of sadly that this is all very new construction, that this used to be, 50 years ago. Most of it was just farmlands, that a lot of these buildings are new. A lot of the buildup is because of Disney, which isn't a bad thing. There's just it's called like the Disney Circle, and it's just little villages, and it's all like apartments, and it's beautiful, walkable, parks, all of it. And then in the middle of it is this mall. It's called Val de Europe. So I thought, oh, here's the entrance to the mall. No, every 6 blocks is a new entrance to the mall. It sort of reminds me of like the Upside Down. You have this
It's
giant
the Starcourt Mall.
Yes, it's giant. And every neighborhood has its own entrance. So,
Mhm.
for example, we had dinner in this little courtyard the other night, and the entrance to the mall right there had this carousel that Jack went on.
Yeah, it's like the food court.
Yeah, and then you go
mall.
down the other way.
But then by like the train station, there's like the pharmacy and
Yep.
Primark
Right.
and the other end of the mall.
Yeah, it's amazing. It's
And
huge.
there's a humongous grocery store in there.
Yeah, which we went to, and that was a blast. I have to be honest. It took us a long time to find things. Google Translate, super helpful.
Google Translate will help with that.
Yeah, exactly. For me, one of the biggest mind-blowing pieces is how delicious the food is, all of it, even the quote unquote junk food. The vegetables, oh, so good, crunchy and fresh, like they should taste. They don't taste fake at all. So that's been a lot of fun for us. So our first day we went to the park, to the Disneyland.
It was my birthday. We went to Disneyland Park and it was really fun to see because we were a Disney World family for the longest time. We know those parks in and out.
Yeah.
And it was really, really cool to see basically the magic, I guess, through their eyes,
Yeah.
seeing Disneyland Paris for the first time.
Yeah.
And just saying like, yep, this is where I work.
Right. What I noticed too is I'd get little deja vus of being in different parks in America. Just the layout, the buildings. I'll be walking along and I'll be like, oh my gosh, I can see myself in Magic Kingdom. You walk down Main Street and you go to the right, and that's where you head off to like Buzz Lightyear and all those kinds of things. And there's a couple of areas in Disneyland Paris that I felt like I was right there. Like
Yes.
the layout is similar.
It is quite similar. I always say it's like the same but different.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like, yes, this is Main Street USA, but it's not Magic Kingdom. It's at Disneyland Paris.
Yeah.
We got to see the Splashes of Color show, which is a really fun show. It is like a combo of parade and dancing and stage show, and there's like little fireworks. It was a really cool show,
Right.
and
Yeah,
I'm really glad we got to see that. And the song is just a bop. Then we really just went, we explored in Disneyland Paris, you can explore the castle. You can go inside the castle.
Yeah, which was really fun.
At Magic Kingdom, you can't really do that. At Disney World, I mean, there's Cinderella's Royal Table, which is like dining. That's really the only area of the castle you can go into. And that's a lot of money.
Yes, exactly.
But walking in through the castle at Disneyland Paris, I mean, besides the park admission, free.
Disneyland Paris day was just us. And then we had a few days.
You had a day at the hotel because I worked.
Yeah.
And just a day in the town.
Yeah, we had two sort of hotel days.
Sunday, it was a similar vibe. And then Monday, We went to Paris.
Oh, yes, Paris. So Jack's big thing is his train ticket, the little train pass. He calls it his
The
passport.
Navigo
Yeah,
pass.
and so he taps it and it beeps and he hands it right back to Kenny. There are two ways to look at traveling. One is you plan and make reservations so that you don't miss any single thing. But sometimes that can add an element of stress in my mind, like you're all worried about missing something. And so we got off at a train stop that Gracie was familiar with and then realized it wasn't really near anything we thought we wanted to see. We weren't sure. And we wandered around and we found a park.
In my few trips to Paris since living here, I have always been the follower. I have not been the tour guide or the leader. I am very much not a natural born leader at all. So this was my turn playing tour guide. So we kind of just like frolicked around the neighborhoods of Paris,
Yeah.
and we ended up near in Notre Dame, and we got to see that.
Yes, which was beautiful.
My dad, he was just adorable, just soaking it all in with his phone, just taking so many pictures.
Right.
And I'm very, very impressed with Jack. I'm so proud of him because this was his first really big trip without a stroller.
Yeah, right.
No stroller.
Right.
And he's just been a little trooper.
Yeah.
He really has not complained that
No,
much.
he doesn't. He even when it's long lines at Disney rides.
He really just accepts like this is what we're doing.
Yeah. Right after seeing Notre Dame Cathedral, we thought, okay, let's maybe find a place to eat. We're a little bit hungry. Maybe we'll find the train to get up closer to the Eiffel Tower. And Jack inadvertently kicked a glass of change that a homeless woman, she was sitting collecting money. And he felt awful. He's so sensitive. He cried. And I'm like, that's it. We're eating. And there was just a cafe right in front of us. I'm like, this is it. We're just going in and sitting down. Okay.
And it was really good.
So good.
It was really
Oh
good.
my God.
The lattes were delicious. Jack got ice cream and French fries. We got really yummy avocado toast. That was like huge.
Yeah, it had eggs and feta cheese and
a little side salad. It
and
was wonderful.
yes, and pomegranate. Oh my God, it was delish.
It was really good.
Kenny got a grilled cheese and it was like pita with cheese and in this big bowl of soup. So we were all really happy.
Yes, very satisfied.
Yeah.
Feeling a little bit better about things. And while we were eating, I whipped up my phone and tried to see what would be the best way to get to the Eiffel Tower. And luckily the train station, like the metro stop, was right there. So we decided to just do that. Then we basically stopped and we saw the Eiffel Tower.
Right, which was stunning. I have to admit, I cried. I wrote about it in last week's blog that I shed some tears when I saw it. And I think for me, sometimes being, old, you have a lifetime of hearing about things and reading about things and watching events on the news and, watching the Olympics that took place in Paris and all the different things. And we had promised Jack that we would find a playground, which Sissy was very good at doing. We walked across a bridge and up a little hill and there was this playground. And we just sat on the benches like, okay, we're tired. I did a quick Facebook Live. Jack was adorable. This little French girl, or I don't know what, maybe she wasn't French, but she was an American, following him around, copying everything he did. He didn't really realize it. He was all caught up in himself and his Spider-Man moves. She just copied him. And so eventually he caught on and he helped her. And it was the sweetest thing. Yeah.
It was very sweet. And by then we were kind of ready to leave.
Yep.
But we walked probably like close to 20,000 steps in a day.
Yeah, no kidding.
And Jack really wanted, anyone who's visited France or lived in France, Jace, I'm sure you know what I'm talking about. You know that like anywhere you see those like merchants on the ground with all those Eiffel Tower keychains and light up things. And Jack, you best believe, wanted one. So we got one. And yes, it does light up. Yeah. Just like that. And the merchant was really, really sweet. I think he just thought Jack was adorable. And he also just gave us these 2 little Eiffel Tower keychains along with this one.
Yeah.
No extra euros needed. That was really sweet. And Jack was really, really excited about it.
He was beyond excited. Carried it around all day.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then we got Jack got some more ice cream. And then we walked to the metro and then went home.
Yep. And it was exhausting and long, but wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. Another thing before we get into Adventureland, the restaurants here where we've had dinner, again, the food is delicious. My favorite restaurant so far, well, might be a tie between the first place we went when we arrived.
Mm-hmm.
It's like an basically Italian restaurant, pizza and salads and yummy things. And then we went to one that served, everything was in a pancake, like in a crepe. So it was like a whole dinner in there. Oh, that was unbelievably delicious. Really good. Yeah. I inadvertently ordered a salad at one restaurant that had raw salmon in it. So I buckled down and ate it and I didn't die. I survived the salmon. Disneyland Paris, we had some down days. We had a Paris day. And then we went and looked at Adventureland.
Disney
Disney,
Adventure
yes.
World.
Okay.
So Disneyland Paris, the second park was initially called Walt Disney Studios, and it was basically kind of like Disney's Hollywood Studios, that same kind of vibe. But it slowly got, more immersive lands such as Worlds of Pixar and the Marvel Avengers Campus. March 29th of this year, so a month ago yesterday, Walt Disney Studios Park turned into Disney Adventure World. The name is changed, and that is when World of Frozen, where I work, that is where World of Frozen opened for the public. And that's why I moved here, was to help open that new park and start that new era at Disneyland Paris. So I wanted to show my parents Disney Adventure World, because that's where I spend most of my days when I work. So shout out to Mackenzie. She used her cast member pass to let my family in.
Yep.
Yeah, we basically spent the day in Disney Adventure World, and we got to see basically everywhere of that park.
Yep. We saw a show in Arendelle. We met Oaken.
The Wandering Oaken.
Wandering Oaken. He was fantastic. He was really good to Jack.
Yes.
We went on Hollywood Tower of Terror, which the one here is, sorry, America, way better than Orlando's Tower of Terror. Just a much smoother. It doesn't jerk and lurch so much.
And it's I feel like there's more drops.
Yeah.
You're just on the ride. I feel like in Disneyland Paris, most of the rides, most of like your classic rides, like Small World, Pirates, things like that, you're on the ride for a much longer duration, which ultimately I think makes the waiting worth it. For example, Pirates of the Caribbean at Disney World, it's beautiful, it's great, but you're on there for maybe like a few seconds, like truly. But Disneyland Paris, it's just like, you're like, when is this going to end?
Right,
like,
I would agree.
Which ultimately I think just makes the wait times just worth it.
Right. The other piece is, Gracie said this, there's no sense of urgency here. So like we were standing in line waiting to go on a ride, and then the amount of time between people getting off the ride and the next round of people getting on was forever. And I just thought, boy, in America, it would be chip, chop, off, on.
Yeah, when you find yourself sitting at a restaurant here, it can be in Paris, it can be in a little town like this called Serres, France. There's just no rush.
Right.
No rush. That's kind of like their mindset here. It's like no rush. You could be waiting in line at a cafe, the line could be out the door, and the cashier is just moving at one pace. There's just no sense of urgency here, which really, like, as an American, sometimes it can feel frustrating. Hello, like,
hurry up.
But then it's like, wait, what am I hurrying for, actually?
Right.
When I'm running to work and I'm feeling like I'm late, when I really have all the time in the world, and I kind of just like, I've learned to kind of just pause and just be like, well, actually, there's no reason to rush right now.
Right.
Like, how about I just enjoy this walk? Or at the restaurant, how about I just enjoy this sitting time and just enjoying the scenery? And the waiter will come when he's ready.
Right. Yeah, you just learn to relax. It can be hard for me. I do best when my mind is occupied. So downtime for me can be tricky, but the more I experience it, the less I'm looking forward to creating a chaotic, busy life for myself when I get home. It's interesting that way. Other things specific to the park, there's a ride called, what's that?
The Spider-Man Web Slingers.
So
I guess the same ride is at Disney's California Adventure, but there's one here in Disneyland Paris. It's in the Marvel Avengers campus. Basically, you help Spider-Man destroy all the spider bots before they destroy the campus. So it's an interactive like game, and it's like you have 3D glasses and you do the motion, the spider web motion
with your hands, and you kill things.
And you just
it's amazing.
The spider bots, and you help Spider-Man.
Yeah, Jack loved it though. That was his request. So the first day it was Gracie, me, a bunch of her friends, Kenny, Jack. We all walked around together and did things together. And then yesterday, Gracie has another wonderful friend named Ligia, born and raised in Brazil. Spent some time in high school in New Jersey as an exchange student and really fell in love with her American family. So she spends a lot of her free time in America rather than going back to Brazil. But she's just fantastic. She's fluent in like 4 languages. She taught herself these languages. Like she came to France for a 3-month language immersion thing, just so she could really learn to speak French because she knew she was going to come work here.
Yeah, she's amazing.
So she took us all around yesterday.
Yes, she was their tour guide while I worked. Very, very grateful for that. I'm glad that she could, give my family a good day.
She gave us a great day. Her timing was impeccable. So European work structure is quite different. You have to provide people an 8-hour shift if they're full-time. You can't trim their hours like that. You have an 8-hour shift, but the way the cycle is here, they put all your breaks in the beginning. So Gracie clocks in at 12:30, but her first performance.
I don't actually do work until like after 4 o'clock.
Right. So 4 hours,
I
three and a
have
half
a
hours.
chunk of time.
Yeah.
Being paid, mind you, being paid of just, having lunch, kind of relaxing, doing any sort of prep I need. But I used that time yesterday to go find my family in the park, went
Yeah.
on a few rides,
Yeah.
and then went back to work
Right.
and got ready and started my shift.
Right.
We went on Flight Force.
Yes.
Avengers Flight Force.
Yes, which was fabulous.
Just a roller coaster.
Yeah.
That goes really fast and goes upside down.
Yeah. Yeah, it was good.
If you like that, then you'd like Flight Force.
So then we left, and then
you mainly saw friends. You saw Peter and Wendy.
We did. We had ice cream. We made our way to Arendelle. Peter Pan and Wendy greeted us on the way, and Wendy looked at Jack and said, "Oh, Jack, hello!" And she knew him right away. It was so exciting. And so Wendy's friends that know Gracie had heard all sorts of stories from Gracie about Jack. And so we played games. They marched around. We took pictures, and then they were playing musical chairs around a fence. You had to touch the goalpost. Kenny and I were coerced into singing. Sing any song you want. So we sang Row, Row, Row Your Boat, which was a good one. Okay. Hindsight tells me I should have sang Show Me the Way to Go Home, but I didn't think of it at the time. And then we stood in line because Gracie really wanted us to meet Queen Anna. I mean, we're flying here all the way from the US into this beautiful new place where Queen Anna and Queen Elsa are visiting, which is amazing. We stood in line for the Frozen ride. And the best part was halfway through our standing in line, we're standing by this door and we're just minding our business. And then the door bursts open.
And Queen Anna, she comes out and to say hi to everyone. So she spots my family, and I'm so jealous I wasn't there to see it.
I know.
Because it sounded like a really good
It was amazing. I tried to film it as best I could. I had tears in my eyes because Jack was so excited, jumping up and down.
Oh, yes.
Yes. Yeah.
Queen Anna told me all about that.
Yeah.
And it sounded wonderful.
Yeah. So then,
how was your adventure up the North Mountain?
Well, the adventure up the North Mountain was amazing.
What do you think? So the Frozen ride at Disney Adventure World in the world of Frozen, it's the same ride as Epcot Frozen Ever After, but do you feel that this one was better?
Yes, it was beautiful. It was laid out a little bit differently. It's the same gist. I didn't feel like, oh yeah, I've seen this. But you go through, you go up, and then you splash around, and you see the princesses, and you see Olaf, and you see everybody, right? All the characters, the trolls, little snow bots and stuff.
Snow geese.
Yeah, the snow geese. And then you go backwards, and then you know that you're going to have the deep dive down to the end of the ride. So Jack wasn't really expecting that. If we had said there was a big drop, he might not have wanted to go on, but we wanted him to have the chance of meeting Queen Anna in the line. So I put my arms around him, and of course we got soaking wet because it's water. Well, I got wet and Ligia got wet. Kenny and Jack stayed relatively dry. And we went screaming down, and he was
beyond proud of himself.
Yeah.
He couldn't stop talking about it.
I survived the big drop, my first big drop. So when we got in the queue line
so precious.
I know, to meet Queen Anna and Queen Elsa, that was the first thing he told Anna. I couldn't wait to tell Gracie after. Jumping up and down, Queen Anna, guess what? Guess what?
Queen Anna was very, very proud of him.
Yeah.
Very, very proud.
Yeah.
And she was telling him how Anna likes to go fast down the mountain too, because going down the ride is very much like sledding, so you have to go sledding sometime.
Right. Exactly.
Yes.
Exactly.
Queen Anna was very, very excited to tell me all about that.
Yay. So then after that, Ligia went home. We went for dinner in Disney Springs in Orlando. It's like an area of restaurants and stores and things. There's a similar area outside the park.
It's called Disney Village.
Yep.
It's basically Disneyland Paris's version of Disney Springs.
Yeah.
The RER station, the train station, is right there. That's the train that we took to get into Paris.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's like just a bunch of shops and restaurants. It's nowhere near as big as Disney Springs. I do miss Disney Springs quite a bit, but I love Little Disney Village because there's a really fabulous restaurant called the Sports Bar. I'm there like all the time, just with my friends and coworkers. After work, people are like, sports bar?
Yeah.
So I was very, very, very excited to show my family the sports bar. And that's where we had dinner on my birthday.
Yeah.
Actually, that was where my birthday dinner was. And I was messaging my friends like, hey, like if you want to come join the celebration, my family and I were at sports bar, like come on by. And so my friends did.
Yeah, it was great.
And it was great. It was really, really exciting.
Yep, and we ate a big dinner, and then Gracie came and we ate more dinner because that's what you do. And the other piece is 100 burpees a day.
Yes, she did her 100 burpees every day.
So the first few days here, I made them a workout before I went anywhere. Like I did them all in the park, or I got them done at the CrossFit gym. I try to do it like that. But the last 2 days, and probably today, they'll just get done here and there, like 10 burpees here, waiting for the bus, do 10 burpees. get to the park, do 10 burpees. So last night, it's like, 9 p.m. I've eaten, I've had drinks, I'm full. And I realized I still have 30 burpees. That was sad. So I did them in an area right out the bathroom and then by the bus stop. So I got them done. But what the next piece I'd love to really hear from Gracie about is her friends. She has a circle of friends that are fantastic and they're from everywhere, 4 corners of the globe. Yeah.
I really do. It's been really great to kind of meet everyone from everywhere. It's just so fun to compare everything. I love asking questions about what it's like at home, and they ask questions about America.
Right.
And, is it true that you ride a yellow school bus? It's like, yes. I don't know what's so fascinating about the concept of a school bus to foreigners that haven't lived in America before, but that is just
Well, something different, I guess.
it's something different. Also, the concept, like one of my friends from the UK, she's like, I've never been to a Target before. And I'm just like, the concept of someone never going into Target was just crazy.
Yeah.
That's true. And I just forget that, like, you just forget like things that you grew up with. It's not at all what they grew up with.
Right.
And it's so fun to compare. I think like what's great about working at Disney is that you're just around so many cultures and everything is accepted. There's no like discrimination because that's not, at least, in my experience working for Disney, that's not what they stand for. It's just been really fun to just be around people from all over, like Finland, Denmark,
Right.
everywhere.
Right. Leisha grew up in Brazil.
Yep.
Sam grew up in Canada.
Nope, she's
Oh,
from California.
California. Oh, that's right. That's right. Who's Canada?
Mary.
Mary is Canada. Okay, I can't keep it straight. Mary had dinner with us. She had cheese. That I remember. Where's Brooke from?
Pennsylvania.
Brooke is Pennsylvania. Claudia?
She's from Michigan.
Michigan.
But she worked at Disneyland before this.
Chloe?
She's French.
From France?
Yes.
Yes.
And I think, in this industry, performing entertainment, not a lot of people are supportive of each other, or you have like that fake nice. And I genuinely think like the people I've met here are not that fake nice. At least I try to surround myself with people who are genuine and really grateful to be here and not caught up in what they think they deserve from when they got hired. Truly just took this opportunity and I'm just going with it. I'm going with whatever they decide to offer me. I go into work with a smile on my face and an open mind, and I try to I hope the people I am friends with, I just always want to give out the energy that I want back. And I think I'm hopefully making that work for myself. And I hope people can find that inspiring and can join along, because ultimately we are all here for the same dream, the same goals. We want the same things. So I don't know why sometimes we have to like bring each other down.
Yeah, right.
And really we should be supporting each other.
Exactly.
I think like seeing my friends win is just like the world. Like that just means the whole world.
Right.
And people shouldn't look at your success and just not be happy for you.
Right.
I don't know.
Right.
I learned that a lot this past year.
There are definitely people in the world that look at the success of others as a direct insult to themselves or a knockdown. I remember in my years of coaching athletes, I always would have athletes that anytime a teammate beat them, that was a bad thing. It's like, that's your teammate. No, that's a good thing.
Right. Be happy for your teammate.
Right. We're all getting better.
Would you not like it if your teammate wasn't happy for you?
Right.
If you won the race?
Some people can't
or if
see
you
it.
got the part. It's just amazing. I just think of myself and how I was as a dancer. I never got the solos. I never got the fun, parts in the dance. I was always in the back. I was always an extra. But I loved dancing. And it just proves that even if you're a back row dancer like me, you can still follow your dreams. I'm performing in Paris, okay?
Yeah. I think you're doing okay.
I think it's okay.
Yeah.
And it really just helps build character. That's all I got to say about that.
Yes. Also, the one thing I also will say, as having been able to be on the receiving end of a lot of conversations about Gracie from her friends, is they love her. They see that she's honest and genuine and kind. All of them, every single person I met talked about how much they love my girl, which eases my heart because she's here thousands of miles away from her mama.
Everything I ever knew.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, you've never left, you've never really left the country and then you moved to live somewhere else, which is also the story of a lot of girls here from America. They've never been here before and boom, now they live here. I will say too, as a traveler, it's really nice to visit somebody who lives here as opposed to just being here as a tourist, because I feel like I can look at France through your eyes and picture you walking here and walking there and getting on the bus and going to CrossFit. Went to the CrossFit gym. It was fantastic. CrossFit diversity.
Yes, I finally went to CrossFit gym. And that's really truly that's like made a whole shift onto everything.
Yeah.
I'm really excited to build that community there.
Yeah.
I think that'll be really good. Yeah. And I'm just happy. It's just like another outlet for me.
Yeah.
A lot of my friends here are trying to like build other hobbies. Like one of my good friends, she just opened an Etsy shop. Kira, shout out to you, girl. She just started her little crocheting thing. I'm really trying to find other hobbies here that isn't just Disney. And that's what I loved. I think I mentioned that before in the previous podcast. A really big comparison for me about working at Walt Disney World versus working here is working at Walt Disney World, you are just stuck in the center of Florida.
Right.
All around you is theme parks, theme parks, theme parks. And while it's great that we have free admission into Disney World as a cast member, you can go to Epcot whenever you want. You can go to Animal Kingdom just to do the safari and then go home. It's a great thing, but that's all you really can do. Right. Plus, if you don't have a car in Orlando, you're screwed.
Yeah, you can't get anywhere.
So that's what just I love about here is I can easily just escape the Disney bubble when I want. Yes. Not because I'm sick of it. It's just because
to have balance.
I need to have balance and just other things going on. And I'm very, very grateful that I found a CrossFit gym and a CrossFit community because that's something I've always had a part of my life for the last 10 years.
Yes.
Can we stop? 10 years this July, I started CrossFit.
Yeah.
So I'm very, very grateful that I found that. And my first class, I literally met someone who works at Disney.
Right.
And I actually literally saw her yesterday.
Yeah. That's amazing. Love it. Love it. Love it.
It's just great. It's just like a really great time. And I'm really grateful I got to share that with my mom this past week.
No, it was a blast. They're very, very kind. And, they think we're crazy, which we are. So that's a good thing. Which brings us to the 10-year piece. When we talk about 10 years, I wrote a blog post about time and how if you're holding your breath, a minute takes forever. But if you're at a Taylor Swift concert, an hour feels like a minute, right? Like how 60 seconds is 60 seconds, except it isn't. 10 years ago today, I was flying home to the US. And little did we know, it would be the end of the path for Molly. And the next day, May 1st, was the ER day and the beginning of what we now call Death Week. So a decade, it's one of those chunks of time that appears more important than others. You don't have like an 8-year anniversary celebration. 5 years, 10 years.
Right. You start like your high school reunion is 10 years. 10 years is a pretty decent chunk of time.
Yes. Yeah.
And it's a lot can happen in 10 years. Right. So much happens in 10 years. You think about like an infant, like when you're born to when you're 10. So much happens in 10 years.
Yes, exactly.
Especially in those first 10 years.
Yes. But we feel sometimes, I can't speak for you, but I know for me, time-wise, I feel like, how could it be that many years ago that Molly died? Mm-hmm. And then sometimes it feels like she was just here. Time is just a clusterfuck, for me anyway, in how long things feel. And when I think about it too much, so sometimes I have to not. But we're at 10 years. So 10 years ago tomorrow, Molly went to the ER and then all the things unfolded.
Yep.
I remember one of the biggest conversations we had in the hospital when Molly was on life support, that doctor with the white beard that was so good to you. He told us to give ourselves 5 years to just go ahead and be ridiculously sad and paralyzed and horrified for 5 years. That his experience said it took that long to sort of figure out that this was real and that there can be hope. And I think we probably did a little bit better the first. I wouldn't go back to those years ever. But 10 years, in 3 years, her life here will be the same as the amount of time she's been gone. This rattles around in my head sometimes.
It's those little like moments, like those time markers that like really kind of like messes with your head. I think just what really just really shows the time is how like little I looked 10 years ago and how, well, Molly's just the same and she will be just the same. And I'm just so different. I'm a 25-year-old.
Right. There's nothing to compare it to.
Nothing to compare it to. Yeah. So I think that's just like really a really crazy thing. And it's been really interesting because I've met, obviously, like, I don't, use it to define me and I don't use it to define my choices, but it is a part of me and what happened to me. And it's been really interesting. It's been really cool to like, in these 10 years, I guess cool in a grieving sort of way.
Right.
Not saying it's fun, but it's been really interesting, I guess, better word. In these last 10 years, like I've met so many people, made so many good friends. And it's really just interesting, I guess, like to kind of look back and like, oh, I met this friend when I was in like year 3 of my grief and whatever. And I really only tell, I talk about it when I'm asked and whatever. And the people that care here and like want to know more about her, I tell them to, and they are just like, obviously really impressed with my strength.
Yeah.
Blah, blah, blah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Well, you'd be the same. Right.
And they're like really happy that they like to know about her. And I think that's just really comforting.
Yeah. Yeah. She had a couple of friends do really nice things for her on Molly's birthday, which was,
it was really sweet.
For me that, if I had to put a title for what it's like to be a sibling that's lost a sibling or a mother that's lost a child, it's, oh no, here she comes. Because our grief is obviously going to make people uncomfortable. And so we find the balance of how much do we talk about it? How much do we not talk about it? And then finding the connections where we know it's safe to talk about it if we have a day where we need to. And I definitely feel like you have a friend or two that would be totally fine no matter what, anytime if you were having a bad Molly day.
Oh no, and like I'm really just gonna take time for myself this next week.
Yeah.
I have a pretty consistent work schedule this next week. A lot of just like very your typical like 9 to 5.
Yeah, structure.
I have a very good structured schedule this next week, which I'm really, really grateful for. I think I have some new like training coming up this week on May 6th and May 7th, so that is actually works out great. And then now that I have the CrossFit gym now, I can go to the gym after work, take some time for myself
Yeah.
and slow down a bit. And I know that I'm surrounded by a really good community, so I'm really, really grateful about that.
Yeah, that's wonderful. Yeah. Yeah, and us too, we go home and it's funny, time goes by and like in our community, it's less about people who knew Molly. And for me now, it's more about trying to promote the MollyB Foundation and provide opportunities for kids. But that's a tricky shift because for me, it's always going to be about Molly. It's hard for it not to be. But I'm ready, so I go back to that doctor who gave the 5 year. I feel for me at 10 years that it really is a shift into utilizing the loss to make today better as opposed to just missing her all the time. That's never going to change. So it can stop sort of being the focus, I guess, if that makes sense. So I'm excited to get home, not that I want to miss Gracie B, and just have some renewed structure and organization. Huge busy, we have track camp coming up. I'm starting a musical theater camp this year. We have the MollyB Awards Gala. That was around her birthday or in the spring. We're doing it at the end of June this year. All of that's going to be mayhem and craziness, but I'll be surrounded by young people, which I love. It connects me to where Molly was when she left. And so it's sort of a nice way to remember and honor her. So that's all coming up. So we'll be apart for that, but I think that's okay. I mean, we've been apart for it before. That's just life and it's how we do it. Tomorrow, I'll be getting on a train to head back to the airport to go home to New Hampshire, and Gracie will be clocking into work and doing another shift, and then we'll see what happens from there on out. So,
New Hampshire people, try the new Dunkin menu and let me know how it is because
it says Dunkin's here, but it's not.
Because I miss it so bad. That Instagram post of the new menu was actual pure rage bait for me, I think. Try the new Oreo Coolatta. Let me know how it is because it sounds really good.
Maybe I need to get Jack addicted to those. Molly and Gracie were addicted to coffee Coolattas when they were little.
The coffee ones.
Yeah, it's like
the coffee ones
with the caffeine.
Yeah. So I wonder why I'm so dependent on caffeine, and yet here it is. America runs on Dunkin'.
Yeah.
Right? New England really runs on Dunkin'.
Yes, that's very true.
Also the new Noah Kahan album released on my birthday this year, and let me just say, I am very, very sad that I'm going to miss yet another New England summer. But I will say I'm very, very excited to experience a European summer.
Yes.
Because I think it'll be really, really fun.
Yeah.
And I can just take a train to Italy if I want. So
Or Brussels.
Or Brussels.
Or the Netherlands. Or under the pond at Iceland.
Yeah. So that'll be really, really exciting. I definitely want to try to keep up with posting about things like that.
Yeah.
And I'm just so excited for continuing just my European era.
Yes, exactly. Yay. All right. Well, I'm going to be very sad when I have to leave tomorrow, but we'll talk a ton. And I'll definitely, now that I know about this whole Oreo Dunkin thing, I think I'm going to do Facebook Lives, hold it next to me and take sips and all just so she can.
I can just imagine myself.
Yeah, exactly.
Virtual reality.
Yes, virtual reality. Yeah. So I have a daughter that lives in France, which means I get to come visit her here. So our next plan is to come for a chunk of time in August, like maybe the whole month of August. Not that I would stay here in this cute little hotel for an entire month, but I would definitely have some European time and maybe she can get some time off and we can travel around and look at things, which would be very, very fun. I want to take her to Switzerland.
And, Switzerland.
And then Austria and Germany.
Sound of Music fans.
Yeah.
If I'd love to do the tour.
I did that in 1979. That was a long time ago.
That was a very long time ago, Mom.
All right. So as always, be good to yourself. Book a trip to Europe and come to France and visit Gracie.
Come say hi to my friend Queen Anna. Exactly. She'd love to see you in Arundel.
Yeah. And then be good to someone else. Bring a friend with you. And as always, have a good day, everybody.
Have a good day.
Hey, thanks for listening and supporting the podcast. Feel free to leave a review and share my stories with your friends. Please reach out with your own stories, as I love connecting with my listeners. If you would like to get to know Molly, head over to mollybfoundation.org to see what she is all about. If you want to see what I'm up to next, you can find me on Instagram at barb_444, on Facebook as Barb Higgins, and at my website, 1000tinysteps.com. And while you're there, sign up for my newsletter, a weekly way to find out what's up in the life of Barb Higgins.